Let's start with
Uh,
MVP, and we'll just go through each one for each person. So we'll all do our MVPs, and then we'll move on from there. We'll just go through like that.
okay, okay. Right now, I would probably say for me, I think that Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts are probably the two top guys I could see as far as the MVP race goes. The person I would consider putting in there is Tua because he's been playing like crazy as well. But like now I would say Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts, and then I have to always kind of throw in that third person only
Mm-hmm.
because quarterbacks always get that love. And I'm gonna say a name, and I know people they gon' whatever, but the two people I have to say is I would say Tyreek Hill for what he's doing and the pace
Okay.
that he's on. And then I got to give a shout out to my man Saquon Barkley. I mean, he's got the Giants looking good this year, and if
Leading
I'm not
NFL in
mistaken,
rushing
in
yards.
rushing. Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
if
So
I'm not
Interesting.
mistaken.
I believe you're right. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go. That's my little list that I would go with right now would be Mahomes and Jalen Hurts, and then my two non-quarterbacks I would have to look at is Saquon and Tyreek.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to your toxic partner here, Isaac, next, because he was
Mm.
making all types of faces while you was putting that out there. So let's. Who
I don't
you
think
think your MVP?
I'm not toxic, nigga. First off, let's get that out of the way.
Y'all are together. Y'all
Good, we got you
are.
together.
Yeah,
Uh,
y'all.
I
y'all
mean,
little team
look,
toxic.
I get that Saquon has had a really good year, but I mean, most teams run a two back system now. Like, it don't mean as much to lead the league in rushing, but uh, Mahomes is actually was my pick as well. I actually have Mahomes and Hurts. It's my top two. Um, to Justice point for Tua, I mean, I consider that, but then I also consider that Tyreek and Waddle are always open, and that's on them, not him. He's not throwing them open; they're open when they catch the ball. So it's really helping him out in that way. But now, I mean, I'm going with Mahomes because with Tyreek gone, I mean,
he's
we
still
expect him
doing
to
his
be
thing.
good, but
Hmm.
didn't expect him to be like leading the league in passing touchdowns type of good. And outside of Kelsey, like none of the other receivers, it's somebody different every week from a receiver standpoint. So he's killing the game.
All right. And what about you, Jared? What you got?
I hate to bore you guys, but I'm actually gonna go Patrick Mahomes too. I mean, leading the NFL in touchdowns, leading the NFL in passing yards. You know, I mean, I think it's hard to go away from him. This actually was kind of hard for me because I'm looking as I'm thinking about the NFL this year. I'm like, you know what? It's not a whole lot of guys that are. Nah, I ain't gonna say it like that. It's not the
No.
same as it is traditionally. Usually, you got
Hmm.
3 or 4 quarterbacks that can legitimately win it. I'm still not sold on the Jalen Hurts and the Eagles thing. I'm sorry. 12 touchdowns through 8 games. I don't know. I don't know what he did the other night, but through 8 games he had 12 passing touchdowns. That's great. They were winning. They were 8-0. Perfect. But MVP caliber, I'm just not sure yet. There's
I
still a lot
did
of
have
football left to play. Jalen Hurts could get in that top five for me, but that's still to be determined. But as of right now, I mean, I guess Patrick Mahomes has kind of separated himself in the short term from everybody else, in my opinion.
I did have a Justin esque pick though. Uh,
Who's your
What does
Justin
that
this pick?
mean?
See,
I
I
don't know
told
what
y'all.
does that
See,
mean.
see. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
you be throwing stuff out of the way left field. I want to give some love to Justin Jefferson.
You know what? That's
Uh,
yep,
to me,
absolutely.
he is the offense. Like I know they have Cook, but I actually think that Cook benefits more from him than the other way around. And Cousins, look, he's not throwing to anybody else, and Justin Jefferson is still catching the ball over everybody. They have other receivers on the field. He still ain't throwing.
Adam Thielen is not bad. He's really
He's
good, and they just got
yeah,
Hawkinson
but he
from
ain't
the
caught no
Lions
balls
too.
this year.
No, I'm just saying though, like he has
Yeah,
other targets, like you said, he can throw it to, but
man, he
he
ain't
is
doing it.
definitely feeding Jefferson.
Yeah, I
Man,
agree
he
with the
threw that
Justin
boy
Jefferson
blind.
pick. That's actually who I got as my offensive player of the year so far. So I agree
Okay,
with that.
Here's
all
here
right.
was
To
the
put him in
only
that the MVP race, that's legit. I get that.
And
The
I
only
think with it,
reason, what?
oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead, go ahead,
No,
go
no,
ahead.
go.
No, I
You
was
got
just
something
gonna
to add?
say the only reason why like the Justin Jefferson thing for me, the reason why like I didn't go that route, and it's not fully him to blame, but we all know receivers are dependent upon schemes to get them open, but also quarterback getting the ball, so on and so forth. But there were like two games back to back where like he didn't exist at all. One of them happened to be against Philly. And I mean,
You're right
like, I
about
think
that.
it, yeah, and like, I think
Mm,
the other one was against like Detroit, where I think he had like, I don't know, had less than 50 yards in both games. So it's like
Mm,
I mean, he completely disappeared. As a matter of fact, the other one he had 3 catches for 14 against Detroit, and 6 for 48 against Philly. So
mm.
like those two games stuck out to me because I remember seeing that and I was like, man, what happened to Justin Jefferson? And that's kind of why I didn't put him in there. It's only because it's like
right.
and don't get me wrong, dude is crazy talented. So I'm definitely not taking that away from him. But that's why
That's a
I kind of
legitimate
left him
argument
out.
though. Like that's very legitimate.
Well, that's
And I
why he
think
wasn't my
that you
number
just think
one.
about, and I think that you just think about last game. You just think about that Bills game, and it was just he
That
just
fourth and
like
18 was crazy.
he just went
Yeah.
the
That was
whole
crazy.
game like that whole second half, dude, was because he wasn't really going crazy in the first half, but that second half he went off. I think he
Now,
just went in the huddle and just said, "Throw me
Throw
the
me the
ball,
ball.
right. Tell me
throw
this,
me the
Justin.
ball."
Did you happen to watch that Vikings and Detroit in the? I know the Vikings and Eagles was nationally televised, but did you happen to watch that Detroit game?
No, like parts, bits and
Okay.
pieces. I did not sit down and watch the whole
Yeah,
thing. No.
because I was wondering maybe they was bracketed in him or something crazy like that. But
Yeah.
then yeah, so I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't know.
Okay,
Because I
so
didn't catch it myself either, so I really couldn't even tell you guys what happened. He could have just stunk. Like I don't know. I
so
figured I
I'm
would
gonna
just
go.
throw it out there to see if anybody had actually saw it and was like, yeah, he just wasn't getting open or he wasn't running his routes right, what have you. But yeah,
So I'm gonna go also with Patrick Mahomes. I actually went on NFL.com because the voters who actually vote for the awards actually did a mid-season one. So I'm gonna give y'all the votes and how they broke it down. Right now they have Josh Allen number one with 10 votes.
There's no way that
Uh,
that's still accurate after this past week.
I don't
he's
know if
leading
it's
the
That's
NFL
it
league.
probably could
it's
have been
probably a
prior
couple
to this
weeks old
past
at this
week. Yeah.
point. Yeah.
Well, I think it didn't update this past week. I think it's from the week before. So like
Yeah, because
the week
Josh
before. I
Allen
think
is
it was week
showing
8.
y'all who he
Yeah,
is. I'm just letting y'all
I'm
know
he,
just
that
he
saying.
now.
he's leading the league in interceptions
Turnover.
currently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm just saying.
He's
I'm just saying
missing
what they
Brian
had.
Dabo in a
Uh,
major way.
Yo,
and
real
they
quick before you go on with that,
go
I
ahead.
actually I meant to send this to y'all before we started. Looked at this post that said like people think that stylistically Josh Allen is Cam Newton but improved, and then he went down the stats of Cam like in his like prime. It was like give Cam Newton Stephon Diggs and the receiving core that Josh Allen has instead
Mm.
of
And
who is
that
he
O
throwing
line.
to?
Uh,
Hey again,
Kelvin Benjamin and
Wasn't
Ted
Tay,
Roddy
Ginn.
there at that
yeah,
Hagen,
time?
yeah. Olsen, and I think he had Steve Smith for a little while.
Shoot, I feel like Olsen never stayed healthy, but
Yeah.
Olsen
he
killed with
didn't.
him.
So
And he also said, look at Greg Olson's stats before Cam.
Yep.
He was not that good with the Bears. So
yeah, I agree.
put some
So
respect on Cam's name is all I'm saying.
no,
Hey,
I am pro Cam.
I'm with you.
Oh yeah, that goes back to
um,
our previous
Yep. Our previous
episodes.
episode.
yeah.
Quarterbacks, I'm rolling all day,
So they got
all day.
Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes both tied with 6 votes. So Josh Allen had 10. Jalen
That's
and Patrick
crazy.
both had 6 votes apiece, tied for second. And then they had Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson tied with one. At that point,
Not mad at
um,
either of those, but
no, they only had 1 vote. So I think
Once
it's
you
like
get
25
beyond
total
three,
votes.
like there's just participation awards anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
no,
right.
I'm just saying. So that's just how what it was on NFL.com. But yeah, no, I agree with Patrick Mahomes. For the same sentiments everybody else has pretty much stated. Um, you just know him and Kelsey are just always gonna be special. They just had that type of relationship and that type of chemistry. Um, but takes me back to like I said, like we were talking about previously before, like Patrick Mahomes, like he makes up for so much. So when you're
Hmm.
comparing their offense to other teams' offenses or other teams, you know what I mean? Like we're comparing receivers and stuff like that. It's like when you have somebody with that type of talent, like you said, that throws receivers open and can make every throw, and the coaching staff, like it's a complete offense everywhere from the coaching staff to the quarterback to the players on the field. And like I said, we thought it was going to be a legit drop off when Tyreek left, but it's not. Like he's leading the league in yards, he's second in QBR, and he's first in touchdowns. So yeah, I definitely think if they were giving it out right now, it would go to Mahomes.